Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, a developing story in Bradenton as detectives investigate the cause of smoke at a Bradenton restaurant earlier this evening. EMS and several fire trucks rushing to the Cortez Shopping Center around 6 p.m. on Sunday, where dozens of patrons were forced to evacuate the Mexicali Border Cafe. The manager of that restaurant telling ABC7 as soon as employees noticed smoke, they called 911 and began telling people to get out to safety rather. Everyone leaving the premises within 5 minutes at this time. We understand there is only smoke damage to the restaurant and there were no injuries. However, that incident is still under investigation. After a month and no signs of missing Sarasota teen Jabez Spann, some members of the community decided to form their own search party on Sunday. ABC7's Sammy Chido followed friends, family, and volunteers as they looked desperately for clues.
Everybody say, Lord,
Lord,
guide us.
Guide us.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
That's right.
14-year-old Jabez Spann has been missing since September 4th, and with little evidence of Spann's whereabouts, some community members decided to put together a search party through Facebook.
We want to do our part as a community of Manatee and Sarasota County, Minnesota, come together and show some love to this family to let them know that we care. And it's not only her son, it's my son, it's the community son.
Dozens from around the Suncoast investigated a ditch that runs along Myrtle Street, searching for any kind of clue. Some came out with no connection directly to Jabez, while others knew him well.
He was actually one of my really good friends, and I don't want to lose another friend. So that's why I came back out here today to come find him.
What do you mean another friend?
I've lost several friends, from shootouts and stuff like that.
Charles Jackson, or CJ, has known Jabez since they were in the 6th grade. CJ is hopeful to find his friend alive, but this isn't his first time facing tragedy.
With these boys being so young, they shouldn't have to keep going to their friends' funerals.
The theme of the day was to not give up and keep on searching.
We just want to scout out everything so we can find anything, even if it's some clothes, whatever it is. But we just want to make sure we cover all the areas.
I will never lose hope for Jabez. It's like an ongoing mystery with him, so that's why I figure he's alive right now.
Reporting for ABC7, Sammy Chido, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Sammy. Well, Cortez Road in Manatee County is one of the most dangerous in our area, and now, as we're learning, the state of Florida. A recent study by Miami's Stein Law Group found a 2-mile stretch of Cortez to be one of the top 10 deadliest roads in the state. In 2016, there were 270 crashes on Cortez Road between 14th Street and 75th Street West. More than half of those resulted in injuries, and 4 were fatal. Figures from the Sarasota Metropolitan Planning Organization show 3 of the people killed were either bicyclists or pedestrians. MPO's executive director says there may be less fatal crashes if everyone followed the rules of the road.
Pedestrians should walk on the left facing traffic and bicyclists should ride on the right with traffic.
And pardon me, those numbers were from 2015. Cortez Road and nearby US 41 will be the focus of an upcoming traffic study by the Florida Department of Transportation. And switching gears to weather now, let's head over to Wendy Ross with our first alert weather forecast. Wendy, a lovely Sunday here.
We really did have a great Sunday. We hardly had any clouds about, and what we are looking at is that most of the cloud cover has been to our north and out in the Atlantic, but not really along the southwestern coastline. And we had a low pressure system that we were talking about yesterday. That low was expected to bring us a great deal of rain throughout the day, but it has pretty much started to fall apart, and as it has weakened and moved out into the Gulf of Mexico, high pressure has prevailed, moving on into the area and drying us out. And that's going to continue for the next couple of days. So we're going to start to see some drier weather moving into our region. Now, right now, we are looking at partly cloudy skies with a couple of showers that have taken place throughout the afternoon hours, but most of the rain was very widely scattered. And we're seeing the heavier showers along the east coast right now. And these showers are coming in from the Atlantic. But along the southwestern coastline and the west coast of Florida, our viewing area, we're looking at just pretty much quiet conditions, and that will continue throughout the nighttime hours. So we're not looking for much in the way of rainfall for tonight. Instead, we're going to be looking at partly cloudy skies with really no rain coming in throughout the overnight time period. This is what it's going to look like over the next several hours. You'll notice that the rains sort of start to develop, but they don't really come on through until much later in the morning hours tomorrow. We'll maybe see a couple of scattered showers taking place. So in the meantime, temperatures tonight are going to drop down into the 70s under partly cloudy skies. And we'll let you know what we can expect for tomorrow's weather. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Now to the growing humanitarian disaster in Puerto Rico. Millions desperate for food, water, and fuel, but there is hope for the region tonight. FEMA now approving 63,000 applications for $7 million worth of assistance. But despite some relief, the situation is still looking grim. In San Juan, where lines at gas stations go on for blocks, fuel trucks are now being escorted by armed officers as crews work to replenish empty stations. Communications also crippled.
Not enough. It's not fast enough. They know that. We know that.
Power still a major issue as much of the island is still dark or on generators. Officials say it could be 6 months before power is restored. The United States Coast Guard is delivering thousands of supplies to the people in Puerto Rico this weekend. The crew of the U.S. Coast Guard packing supplies onto a 225-foot vessel docked at Fort Macon, North Carolina.
It's one of the less glorious missions of the Coast Guard, but one of the more tangible. At the end of the day, we can visually see the work that we did. But this humanitarian mission has touched us on a whole other level. Every crew member that got to speak with some of the locals yesterday when we pulled into the pier were just left with a sense of thanks and accomplishment.
Those supplies were half food and half water, and they will be distributed by the community leaders of VA Keys. An update now on the release of O.J. Simpson. After being granted parole back in July, the 70-year-old ex-athlete walking out of that prison door just after midnight on Saturday. The controversial former football star speaking out for the first time tonight since his release. ABC's Danya Bacchus tells us what he said.
Juice. How's it feel to be out?
Sunday, O.J. Simpson speaking for the first time as a free man.
Y'all stalking me. Jesus, man.
Where you guys headed?
None of your business.
5 hours after he walked out of prison, a camera catching the infamous football star off guard.
I'm in the car for the last 5 hours, so how do I know how it feels to be out?
Prison officials keeping Simpson's release a secret.
Oh, come on out.
Letting him go 8 minutes after midnight. Okay. He was still in his prison-issued denim as he signed his parole papers. Officials with the Nevada Department of Correction saying the discreet release was all about safety.
We didn't want anything to happen because there are a lot of people that love this particular person, and there's a lot of people that don't.
Simpson's release comes 9 years after a jury found him guilty in an armed robbery at a Las Vegas casino. When asked what was next, the football star turned Hollywood celebrity asked for privacy.
I've been in Nowhere USA for the last 9 years doing nothing. Nothing has changed in my life. What do you guys, what do you expect? There's nothing changed now. Please. All right, can I have a break here?
Though Simpson is out of prison on parole, his legal battles are not over. He owes more than $60 million to the estates of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman after being found liable for their deaths.
And while Simpson's attorney says he wants to go to Florida to be near his children, a Nevada parole officer says O.J. plans to live at home in the Las Vegas area for the foreseeable future. Well, after being closed for several months, the Venice Museum and Archives will reopen tomorrow. Heavy rainfall from a storm back in August damaged the museum's AC unit and caused considerable water damage to the building's roof. At that time, staff had been in the process of installing a new exhibit, but that had to be halted to prevent the collection from being damaged. That exhibit, Venice's Inhabitants, the unique cultural heritage of the land on the Gulf, will now officially debut tomorrow. After years and years of planning and preparation, the 2017 World Rowing Championships are over. The competition wrapping up Sunday afternoon for the 900 athletes who attended that event and the estimated 42,000 fans who reportedly came out to cheer on their teams from around the world. Well, after taking a break and cleaning up after Hurricane Irma, the Sarasota Skiers are back at it again this weekend, showing off their Nationals winning show, the Star Wars The Ski-Quel. Excuse me. Their performance appealing to Star Wars fans with their elaborate skits and music, but also wowing today's crowd with their skill on the water, performing a variety of acrobatic water skiing stunts, including the iconic pyramid featuring 4 levels of water skiers. Still to come here on ABC 7, a terrifying moment for passengers on board an Air France flight, an engine blowing apart above the Atlantic. Plus, thousands evacuated from the South Pacific island under the threat of a volcanic eruption.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Welcome back. Harrowing moments aboard a flight heading from Paris to Los Angeles. An engine blowing apart over the Atlantic, and that jet carrying nearly 500 passengers. ABC's Gloria Riviera tells us what happened next.
This is all that was left of one of the engines on that jet after it suffered a catastrophic failure 37,000 feet over the Atlantic. Passengers terrified as the pilots made a mayday call. Dramatic images show part of the engine detached, flapping in midair, dangerously close to the wing holding fuel.
The aircraft was vibrating, it was shaking.
The Air France jet was headed from Paris to LAX on Saturday when it was forced to make an emergency landing in Canada. The destruction visible.
That initial 20 seconds, I mean, I honestly have never felt fear anywhere close to that in my life.
This rare failure forced the double-decker jet to fly on 3 engines.
This was such a violent explosion that hot metal blew out of the engine and blew the front of the engine off.
On the ground in Canada, more than 10 hours of waiting until passengers could finally board other flights to the United States.
And Airbus and French officials have sent a team to Canada to investigate. Well, thousands were evacuated from Vanuatu's island in the South Pacific Sunday as a volcano on the island began to spew smoke. More than 6,000 people have already been moved to emergency shelters on the South Pacific island. Vanuatu is on the geologically active Pacific Ring of Fire, and its volcano is a major tourist attraction. Meanwhile, over 100,000 people continue to wait after the Mount Agung volcano on the tourist destination of Bali in Indonesia has been at its highest alert level for more than a week. One of the natural disasters we don't run into usually in our area here.
Thank goodness.
I know, right?
Well, we had this low pressure system that was over the northern part of the state, and it's been weakening and moving towards the west. And because it started to weaken and high pressure started to come on in, we didn't get the wet weather we were expecting over the last couple of days.
I'm not complaining.
So no one is complaining when it's a weekend and you don't really want the rain, so it was an opportunity to get outdoors.
Works for us.
And we are seeing some rain showers along the east coast of Florida, but not here. They haven't really manifested over on this coast yet. But that low pressure system will continue to move on towards the west. And as it does so, it's producing some rainfall right now. And you can see the showers. They're moderate to heavy rains across the east coast. And they're going to try to make their way over to the west coast throughout the nighttime hours, but they're not going to be very successful. So what we're going to see is they're going to start to come across the state. And as they get into the central parts of Florida, they're going to break up just a little bit. So we may get a stray shower that comes on in for the overnight time period, but chances are not very great that that's going to happen. And most of the showers that have been along the west coast continue to push towards the west. So we're getting some strong easterly winds, and we're going to continue to see those winds beginning to pick up, especially throughout the nighttime hours tonight and into tomorrow. As a matter of fact, small craft advisories are going to be posted at least through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning as a result of the stronger winds that are going to be coming on in from the east, 15 to 20 knots, very likely, over the next 24-hour period. So in the meantime, we're quiet here along the west coast. We've been looking at fair skies throughout the day, pretty much, and throughout the nighttime, that's what we're going to be seeing. But as I mentioned, we may get a stray shower that comes on in here. So we've got more moisture coming on in from the Atlantic. It's going to be pushing across the state of Florida. We're going to keep rain in our forecast for the next couple of days, 30 to 40% chance. But here's where those stray showers come on through. Wauchula might see one developing later on tonight. We may get a couple that come in across Parish, but you'll notice that the heaviest rains stay to the north of us. We're not really likely to see very heavy rains moving on in. So today we did get up into the 80s. We can't reflect it here. We're having some problems with this particular feature. We're not getting our current temperatures and we're not getting our daytime highs. Normally we're in the upper 80s, and that's pretty much what happened today. And right now we're looking at temperatures in the 70s. So the 70s along the west coast of Florida, and as the night progresses into the overnight hours, we're going to see things dropping down into the mid 70s. And then by tomorrow, we're picking back up and getting right back up into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees as you move farther inland. So that's what we're going to be expecting over the next 24 to 48-hour period. And this is what it's going to look like throughout the day on Monday. For the overnight and morning hours, we've got temperatures that are going to be rising by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's when the rain's going to come on in as well. As far as the tropics are concerned, it's still part of that season. We're starting to get away from the peak season, and we just have some cloudiness out here that we're watching. We've got areas of clouds, but really nothing developing at this time. And if you are heading off to the beach, we're expecting that small craft advisory to stay in effect until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Seas 2 to 3 feet, winds out of the east at 15 to 20 knots. And we are going to be seeing those temperatures staying in the upper 80s for the rest of this week, and about a 40% chance of rain all the way through Wednesday. Adam?
All right, thank you, Wendy. Sports is coming up next. Stick around.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's at FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck. Now, sports.
Well, for the 4th straight season, the Tampa Bay Rays will not play past their regular season finale, which took place tonight at the Trop, but they are trying to finish the season strong, winning their last 3 straight and in position to sweep the Orioles on Sunday. Catcher Curt Casali helping out the team's cause and his own. That's Casali's first big league homer of the year. The Rays would add 5 more in the 8th inning and finish 2017 on a W. Starter Blake Snell ending his season on a high note as well, 5-1 in his last 10 starts and a career-high 13 strikeouts at the Trop today.
Yes, there were frustrations throughout the year, and we're not where we wanted to be, but proud of the way the guys finished up and the way they carried themselves the bulk of the year.
Seeing Blake Snell finish the way he did was awesome. We're going to have pitching again. Like you said, there's no victory when you're going home, on the last day of the year.
I've always thought that we're a playoff team and we're good enough to do it. It sucks that we couldn't put it together, but the team that we have is really solid and sound, and I feel going into the offseason we're going to be hungry and ready to do something with that team.
The Rays finished the season 80-82, a 12-game improvement over last season. The Buccaneers won a thriller at Ray J earlier today. Let's go right to the 4th quarter fireworks. Jameis Winston hitting Cameron Brate for a go-ahead touchdown right there in the 4th quarter. But the winless New York Giants far from giving up in this one. That's Eli Manning finding his tight end to regain that lead with under 3.5 minutes to go. 2-point conversion, no good for New York, which means all the Bucs need is a field goal. And boom, there it is. A big problem for them last year, field goals, but Nick Folk comes through with the 34-yarder. Bucs win 25-23 and improve to 2-1 on the season. Well, 2 Florida teams stayed put in the AP College Football rankings released on Sunday. The Gators are still 21st after picking up their 3rd conference win against Vanderbilt, and USF stays ahead of them at 18 following their explosive offensive performance against East Carolina. Here's a look at the rest of our state teams. Florida State still on the outside, and University of Central Florida moves into that final top 25 spot. Also, Miami moving up 1 spot after beating Duke. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC 7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC 7 and these sponsors.
40 Carats Family Center and the Community Foundation of Sarasota County present the 15th annual free speaker event, The Whole Brain Child, featuring world-renowned neuropsychiatrist and author Dr. Dan Siegel at Riverview High School Auditorium Tuesday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. Learn strategies to nurture children's minds at all ages, survive everyday parenting struggles, and help your family thrive. RSVP required at 40carats.org. That's FORTYcarats.org.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Fans of the rapper Lil Wayne will be offered refunds after the recording artist refused to pass through a security check to enter a South Carolina arena and ended up skipping the concert entirely. Lil Wayne refusing to enter that building when security workers sought to apply the venue's standard safety procedures. The arena's management saying it wasn't willing to make an exception for the headliner of Saturday night's show and jeopardize safety. The rest of the show went on with entertainers 2 Chainz, Tory Lanez, and Cardi B. Ticket holders are being offered refunds starting on Monday. Well, the horror movie It is scaring its way back to the top of the box office this weekend, beating out super spy movie sequel Kingsman: The Golden Circle and the Tom Cruise action flick American Made. It raking in over $17,300,000, while American Made and Kingsman made just under that. In second and third place, the Lego Ninjago movie slipping into fourth, while the Flatliners debut weekend was dead on arrival, coming in at 5th place. Did you see the original It? Wendy?
No, I think I did with, that's Stephen King's movie,
Oh yeah,
right?
Clown in the Sewers, all that.
Oh.
It's just a family movie, you know, standard stuff.
Yikes.
A lot of
That's
fun.
really
Kids,
awful
clowns.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and clowns.
It's good stuff. Check it out.
Yeah.
And that goes
I'm
for you
glad
too
I didn't
at home.
see this one at the theater.